Hello everyone, my name is Akshita Agrawal and I'm a clinical dietitian. Today I'm back with another video and the topic for today's video is calcium and vitamin D. So let's start by talking about vitamin D. So vitamin D is a very important nutrient. It is a very important vitamin, and the primary functions for vitamin D is enhancing our bone and dental health. Second important function is to boost our immunity. Third important function is to keep our stress levels low. It is seen that people who have vitamin D deficiency might end up with depression or high stress levels. And another important function which is still under study is management of diabetes and reduction of high blood pressure. So let us understand that what is the mechanism for formation of vitamin D. So what happens is that cholesterol that is present in our body in the presence of sunlight converts into vitamin D. So that is why it is known as the sunshine vitamin. That means that it can only be synthesized in our body when we are exposed to sunlight for at least of 20 to 30 minutes. Now what is happening these days is that we are staying more and more indoors. Our workplaces are also covered. We don't get time to go out in the sunlight that much. So what is happening is that the vitamin D is not able to synthesize in our body. Therefore the cholesterol becomes excess and the vitamin D becomes deficient. So people who can go in sun for at least 20 to 30 minutes will find a significant change, a significant drop in their cholesterol levels and a significant improvement in their vitamin D levels. Now how to take this sunshine? When you're taking this sunshine, make sure that it falls directly on your skin. It is not going through it is not falling on your skin through any glass or any clothing, because that changes the wavelength of the sunlight, so it will not be able to do its work properly. So try to take a sunlight exposure which is directly on your skin. So if it is summer time and you can't take extremely high sun in the day, what you can do is you can sit in the sun when the sun is just rising or when the sun is just setting. So it is less hot and it is easier for you to sit in the sunlight. Now next important thing about vitamin D is that it is very important for the absorption of calcium. If any person is deficient in vitamin D, he may not be able to absorb calcium even if he is eating a calcium rich diet or even if he is eating a calcium supplement. And vice versa is also true. That is, if a person is deficient in calcium, then vitamin D will not be absorbed in the body. So both need to be in synchronization, both need to be present to be able to absorb each other. Now let us understand about the sources of vitamin D. The only known vegetarian source of vitamin D is mushrooms. But for non-vegetarian people, fishes are also very good source, and egg yolk, that is the yellow part of the egg, is also a very good source of vitamin D. But because of the high requirement of vitamin D level and generally non-availability in the food items, it is recommended that if you are very deficient in vitamin D, try to try to take a supplement to fulfill this deficiency. Now let us talk about another important nutrient, which is calcium. I have talked about calcium benefits in a number of my videos. So let us first list about the basic functions of the calcium. Calcium is very important for your bone health. It is very important for your dental health. Secondly, it is one of the ions which transmits messages in your muscles and your nerves. So for your muscles and nerves to function properly, it is very important that you have sufficient calcium. Thirdly, it is a very important nutrient when it comes to reducing the cramps or the pains in during periods. So all the females who experience pain and cramps during the periods, calcium is their savior. I've done a complete video on this topic and I will leave I will leave a link in the description. You can go and watch the other details about the same. And calcium is also very important when it comes to regulating your blood pressure. Some researches are showing that calcium and vitamin D together are very helpful in managing diabetes, but that is still under study. So I will give you a follow up video when more details come in. So now let us understand what are the sources of calcium. Calcium you can easily get from any dairy products. So milk is good, curd is good, yogurt is good, your paneer or cottage cheese is good. Then ragi is very abundant in calcium. Bajra is very abundant. Then kala chana or Bengal gram is very abundant. Sesame seeds or til are also a very good source of calcium. Then you can get calcium from your nuts like almonds and walnuts and cashews. They are also very good source. So these are few foods that you can incorporate to increase your calcium levels. Now some tips for better absorption of calcium. Calcium, meal should never be accompanied with tea or coffee. I have, told you in a previous video about iron also that the tannin and the caffeine present in, coffee and tea doesn't let the, iron get absorbed, and likewise it doesn't get the calcium get absorbed. So when you are taking any calcium rich meal, make sure that there is a gap of at least 1 hour or before when you are planning to take your tea and coffee. Second important thing is that by taking vitamin C with your calcium meal, you can actually improve the absorption of the calcium from your diet. So what are the sources of calcium? I've done a complete video on that. I will leave a link in the description for you to see. Third important factor that you need to know about calcium inhibitor is oxalates. So oxalates are present in mostly green leafy vegetables. So the palak paneer combination is not a very healthy combination because the oxalates present in green leafy vegetables don't let the calcium from this cottage paneer get absorbed. So try to take your paneer with probably as a paneer bhurji preparation or with matar or any other vegetables, but don't couple them with your greens. Another important inhibitor for calcium absorption is iron. When you take calcium and iron in the same meal, they don't let each other get absorbed. So when you are taking your meals, make sure that iron rich foods are placed in some other meal, and calcium rich foods are placed in some other meal. Also, while taking your supplementation for either calcium or iron, make sure that you space them out from the your main meals. So say you're having a calcium rich lunch, so you're having a paneer sabzi and roti, and if you're supposed to take your iron supplement, make sure that there is a gap of at least 1.5 to 2 hours between these two, so that both can be absorbed by the body. So I hope this video has helped you in understanding basics about vitamin D and calcium, and this is a very detailed topic. If required, I will make follow-up videos on this also. So if you like this video, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Do subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.